So I have control of the last 15 minutes of this meeting, which is great. Let me add to the challenges of finding data. For example, in the Fendisco project that the Hua talked about, we could only index the variables. So you know that this data set does have information about Pacific Islanders. So if you're looking for that population, you know this data set has information about it. On the other hand, you might go through all the trouble of the data access committee, ask for that data set, and there might be 0 Pacific Islanders in that particular data set. So it's more than the metadata, it's about the data themselves. So you made people go through all that effort, and in the end, you didn't have the data that you were looking for. So that's another thing that already also has a lot of privacy implications and so on, but it's important to think about. So I wanted to go through the last portion with a presentation that has as few words as possible, and just remind you of the training mission of IDASH and the journey we've been going through by combining IDASH with a lot of other initiatives in order to provide the best training we can. So one of the things that I want to talk about, and I'm very proud of, and in this also 5 years of our division, we have 4 postdocs who were funded by IDASH become assistant professors in different universities. Yeah. So Xiao Chen, who looks better than his picture and was here before, is one of them. He's assistant professor with us at the division. He's seen here trying to swap the mug he got in the Christmas party with other presents, unsuccessfully, I must say. The other one is Adela Grando, who is in Arizona State University program right now, assistant professor. Michael Conway, who is at the University of Utah, and Yuan Wu, who is assistant professor of biostatistics at Duke University. So that's some of our first products of the training program. So I'm very proud of those. We also got K99 awards, and 3 of those people were shown here: Xiao Chen, Michael, and Shuang, who is a current postdoc, and you saw him in his presentation. And we have some celebrations when that happens, so some pictures here. So congratulations to the latest one, Shuang. Yeah. So our training program, this is a picture we took on our first cohort of interns. I'm showing what came out of some of them. Elizabeth is now with us as a research assistant, and she's doing that trial on iConcur that Hyuni talked about. Shuang and Xiao Cheng are also with us, and there are some others who became professionals in industry or in other areas. We have undergrad students here with us, Tyler and Dexter. I wanted to thank you for all your help preparing the folders and everything, and also with the programming of iConcur and our microRNA projects. We have several postdocs here with us, and we also have our PhD students, and new ones are coming. So as you know, UCSD starts a little later, so we haven't gotten the latest cohort of new students. We have several alumni, and I can even list them all here. There were 54 interns in the program. So the last 9, we had the presentation. We always do a big meeting. I recommend wearing ties and everything. In the past, I even brought ties that it could be used. This year I forgot, so we had some non-compliance with that particular thing. So here it is, first year. Shuang was, he came from Oklahoma for the internship and has subsequently come for a postdoc. Young, Elizabeth. On the right-hand side is the Fendisco team, which also half of the people in here were trainees at the time. Rafael Talavera is the son of Greg's, who presented here before, and was an undergrad with us, funded by the NLM. It's heavy work. So here is Marcos, another trainee intern from Cornell University, who was very interested in the cloud and the hardware and everything. So we got him to do some of the work with other people here, and he got all excited about the. So they're here at the very end of one of the rows of the data center at the supercomputer center. We also had our NLM training grant approved, and I think IDASH was the main contributor for we obtaining that success. We staged it so we would have 5 students in the first year, 10 in the second, and 15 in the third. So we are finally reaching our 15 steady state of students. So very exciting. The first, so it's interesting, the first annual NLM training meeting, I went by myself because we got the grant, but we had no students. The second one, we had our 5 students, and they went there. And then last year, we had 10 students to go to Pittsburgh. So it was a very interesting experience. We try always to include not only the NLM training grantees, but also others, because I was myself a foreign trainee in an NLM-funded program, and the goal is to put everyone together and have the training go forward. So we have here some pictures, some new pictures, some old pictures. This is an activity that IDASH did a few years ago, which I call the Breakfast with the Feds, which was to enlighten people about careers outside industry in academics, which is what we know more about, and to tell them about government positions as well, or other related organizations. So we also had our annual AMIA dinner. You can see some of the trainees and staff over here. We embarked on our curriculum reform. Yes, we only have the curriculum for a few years, but it's evident that some parts need to be reformulated, including going towards certification program on the ACGME. So we need to include all those items so that our program gets certified, and we've gone through a whole lot of iterations about that. And here I was going to give you a quiz, see if you're awake and if you guess which city this is. São Paulo, what other guesses? Rio? Any other guesses? What? Yeah. Okay, so unfortunately you're all wrong. So I have... maybe I should leave this microphone here. I have a program also that I'm very proud of, that we have an international partnership in Maputo, Mozambique. So that's where it is. That's where we were able to buy a lot of the thin clients to equip the classrooms. And this is a course that we gave them in February, a bioinformatics introduction course to students in Maputo, Mozambique. The other thing is when we started 5 years ago, their library did not have any computer, which is quite amazing. And the books were locked because they tended to disappear. So what happens, we put also computers there and then the internet and everything. So it's a completely new and different environment now for learning than it was before. And we also do in Portuguese language because our colleagues in Brazil have those materials. So here's just a couple pictures. They do something that I don't have, which is a van. The informatics center, as you can tell, has that thing. So I'm looking forward to next time. And so these are my colleagues from Brazil who came to teach in there, and 2 Mozambicans who helped teach this course. And this is the campus of the University Eduardo Mondlane in Maputo. Here's another set of Brazilian colleagues who went there to teach more about health informatics than bio, and this was another time. And it was a very good course too, very well attended, and people were very interested in learning about this new area. So this is a picture, and you can't read it, but I'll read it for you. So, to go to Maputo, you have to go through Johannesburg. There is no other way of getting in there. And this is a part of the airport that I always go across. And it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I thought it's an African proverb. And it's very interesting because I think we're all here in data sharing and this kind of things. So that's, we want to go far. Hopefully we want to go fast too. So I don't know how to combine these things here. I'll think about it. But it's a long, long flight. And so you get from Johannesburg 17 hours to Atlanta. So you have some time to think about in that plane. So what I decided to do on that particular visit was to build the website for the Central Hospital in Maputo. And that was a very exciting thing. And it helped those 17 hours to go by. So we have this website as functional there. This is the hospital. It is the main hospital in Mozambique. And we hope this program will continue. It's a very, very exciting program. As you know, they also come to UCSD to shadow some of the positions here. Another thing that I did last year, so it was the Medical Informatics Conference in Cameroon. And I said, well, I got to go to this one. It is the third one, so don't think it's anything new. And it was through invitation of a Spanish colleague of mine who runs the program there. And I, too, felt very excited about going there. It's a French-speaking country, so I was a little rusty on things, but things went out very well. So very exciting to bring medical informatics or some things that we can contribute to Cameroon. Lastly, someone's got to do it. So I was invited to go to Natal in Brazil to participate in this bioinformatics course. It's the same crew, the people who went to Maputo. It was initially the Ludwig Institute had a branch in São Paulo, and this group then moved to Natal, which is northeast of Brazil. So I was very glad to go, very exciting course, especially because it was before the disaster of summer of 2014. And you probably know what that disaster relates to. And I won't say much more than that, than saying that the nation was taken down by, and we didn't have any international aid or anything. So it was quite an experience. So I'm glad I went there before anything else. And lastly, I want to say we waited 5 years to have a reasonable place to put our program, our training program. And that's why we're inviting you to go, not with the BMI van, but with Lucila's van, which is outside, if you want to come visit. And I've been following this building for quite a long time, quite a long battle for us. We were first at the Supercomputer Center. We had some space there. We still have what we call the hut, which is where we began. And we are very, see, it's a very nice shot, and I call it an idyllic place. Cozy, charming were the other adjectives that we used. Here's how, when the building was being put together, and I have pictures of every floor being added there. And not that I was counting or anything, but I thought it was necessary. So it's a very shiny building. You will see it's next to the telemedicine and medical education building, next to the pharmacy school. We have plenty of space now for the students, for the offices, and also we have one bench at the lab there. So it's quite nice. It's at the top floor, which is also something I said, yeah, I want the top floor. without much hope that anyone would listen to. But then suddenly we got the top floor of the building, so I'm very excited about that too. So if you have some time to visit, come visit today or tomorrow. We're having this discussion group on data discovery. It's also on there at the 5th floor, so you have an opportunity to visit if you're actually not tomorrow, on Wednesday after the P-Scanner meeting. So if you're still around, please do come, especially because we have this inclement weather in San Diego today. It's unusually hot. It was 95 degrees, which we wimps call it just unbearable. So if you don't want to be outside tomorrow, will be hot too. Just please do come and visit tomorrow and Wednesday. So there are future expansions going on for the university. And not that I like construction or anything, but one is the Jacobs Tower, is a brand new hospital that's coming up. And the reason I put it here is because in front of it will be our CTRI, which is the CTSA Institute, funded institute. And this is on the right-hand side. It's the CTRI group, including the informatics group, which is also part of our division and does mostly the data provision aspects in other administrative systems as well. So that group will move from what is a temporary building now to the CTRI building, a brand new one too. I also want to let you know that UCSD have the main hospital, was the community hospital before, and that's where most of the care currently is provided. With the new tower, it will balance more the activities in this hospital. So lastly, we have an exchange program too, not funded by IDASH, but the students happen to be working on IDASH projects, so we leverage a lot of their interest and the supervision, because the supervisors are from UCSD. And most of our pictures have parties. It's not because we party all the time, it's because we take more pictures during the party. I want you to understand that. So students from Shanghai are on the left-hand side, and students from Austria on the right-hand side, and occasionally we have from whatever we have the mentors to accept the students. And it's been a very, very rewarding experience, very international and national program. So this too, I would say, if you can guess what city it is, it's a sunset in a city by the bay. Any guesses? It's Maputo again, because Maputo is at the bay. It's a very interesting bay there. So it is. I wanted to just make sure to show you. So I passed my time, but since I'm hosting the conference, I think I can do that. So I want to thank you all. We'll have the party starting at 6.